In today's video, I'm be doing an income report for my self-published books that I sell through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, Audible ACX, and a couple other platforms for the month of October 2020. What is going on, guys? My name is Dane. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. On this channel, I talk all about self-publishing books on Amazon, online entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. You already saw the intro. In this video, we're talking about my income report for the month of October 2020, which is about 4 days ago when I'm filming this. It's November 2020 now. Me going over my income from Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, so my ebooks and my paperback books, and me going over my Audible ACX income as well, so audiobooks there, and then I'm going over a couple other things that kind of add to the pile. Okay, I don't typically like really making these kinds of videos. I feel like I'm just like trying to show off my numbers. I'm not. I had a lot of people ask me in the Publisher Startup Facebook group, which is my free online publishing course. If you want to join it, links down below. I had a lot of people in there messaging me and also replying to a post I made a couple days ago, asking me to make an income report for my ebooks, paperback books, and my Audible ACX books, kind of talking about what I did in October to bring in the amount of money that I did. So I'll be showing you in a second. So I thought I would make this video just to kind of make a nice, organized, all in one place kind of video so people can look at it and have an idea for the kind of money that I brought in during October. Because a lot of people look at this kind of thing and they use it as motivation for their own business. And personally, obviously, I want to keep on growing it, but it's pretty good. It's one of my best months ever. So let's go ahead and jump into the income report for this month from my self-published books. So as you can see on screen here, this video is October 2020 income report for KDP. That should say Audible ACX as well. So let's dive into it. If you're new here, if you haven't seen my videos before, you don't even know how I make money online, let me just explain to you real quick. What I'm doing to earn the income that I'm going to show you in a second is self-published books, selling them on Amazon and Audible and a couple other platforms. I find in-demand topics, niches for these books, hire talented ghostwriters. So I don't write these books. I have other people write them for me. So that way I can have a higher volume with still maintaining high quality. I get them to write them in these topics and niches that I find, and then handle all of the marketing and selling myself. So I do all the Amazon ads, all the promoting, all of the funneling, all the email list stuff. Okay, that's all on my plate, but the writing is done by ghostwriters because if I had to do that, it would take me too long. Overall, this online business is still relatively unheard of. Okay, if you compare Amazon, KDP, or just self-publishing in general, in online business space compared to like drop shipping, FBA. Affiliate marketing, all these online businesses. Self-publishing books is very under the radar right now, and you can tell by the size of my channel. It's a tiny little channel. There's not very many people who know about it, and right now, personally, I think it's one of the best opportunities online for anyone who's looking to make some money online, and also do it in a fulfilling way. We're selling books here. People like buying books. There's sources of entertainment, sources of help. So personally, for me, I love this business model, and it just makes sense to me. And I don't have to write. Okay, hire people to write for me. So that's what we're doing here. We're selling self-published books and ebooks, paperbacks, and audiobooks. Okay, so let's jump into what I managed to bring in on Kindle Direct Publishing. So this is strictly through Amazon. These are my ebooks and my paperback books. This is my biggest source of income in this business. Okay, so on screen here, you can see these are my Kindle Direct Publishing numbers. Top left, you can see that, paperbacks and ebooks. Okay, and this is the dashboard that we get in Kindle Direct Publishing. It's not the greatest, so I'll show you a different one in a second. But it does show you the total there. You can see 10,419 and 28 cents managed to bring in. You can see the currency on the right there, USD. So this is my income from publishing books over the span of October. You can see estimated royalties for October 1st to 31st, 2020. Okay. And on the bottom there, you see that bar graph. It's kind of just, it just shows my different books. If we were to scroll down on this page, it would show all of my books and the ones that are taking up most spaces. So each of those colors represent a single book. The beige one represents an all other books category. And you can see the very bottom one, the blue book there, is doing probably one of the best. And I'll be explaining what that book is kind of at the end, around 10,000 USD. And for me personally, I'm from Canada, so 10,000 USD over the span of a month is more so like 13, which you can see in this next screenshot here. This is the other dashboard I was talking about. This is a Chrome plugin. If you want to add it and use it for your Kindle Direct Publishing business, this is called Data Sprout. I like it a little bit better than the Amazon one. Amazon one's in like its beta form, and it's been in its beta form for like a year now. So I don't know when it's going to actually come out. This one's pretty good. Shows you your total top right there. So you can see in Canadian, it's just shy of $14,000 Canadian, which if I compare this to last year when I was working a day job, I was making around $2,000 a month Canadian. So it's quite the increase. It's pretty good for me. Obviously, it's not like insane or anything like that. This is the opportunity that Kindle Direct Publishing can present to you if you know how to do it properly and you have someone helping you. For example, if you want to join the free course down below, I'll walk you through how to make books just like I do, okay? But personally, this is what has allowed me to quit my job over the last year. And this income right here, this is just for my ebooks and my paperback books. We're going to add on my audiobooks in just a second. But you can see 14,000 Canadian during the month of October. You can see top left there, October 1st to 31st. And this is all authors, all books. So all of my pen names and all my books combined. In ebook and paperback format. Moving into Audible ACX. Okay, so since Audible ACX doesn't have a very good dashboard, if you're familiar with ACX, you know this. Their dashboard it's not even really a dashboard. It just kind of shows you all your books, and it's basically HTML. It's not. It doesn't look very good. So during October, that's why there's no screenshot here, by the way. But during October, I sold over around 1,000 units on Audible, so 1,000 audiobooks in total. It's just over it. I think it was around like just under 1,100 in between the two. At a very rough average royalty. So a royalty in self-published books is the amount that you bring home, not the cost of the book or the delivery for paperbacks and stuff like that. The average royalty for me on Audible is around $3.90. And that's off of my 3-hour-long audiobooks. I do have some audiobooks that are 10 hours long. I have a couple that are over 5 hours long. So I get a bigger royalty for those. But for the most part, the bulk of my portfolio here is 3 hours or so long. So it roughly gets me around a $3.90 royalty per sale. So we're kind of undershooting here. It's probably a little bit more than $3,900 for the month of October. It's because I have those 5-hour long audiobooks and those 10-hour long audiobooks, which have a higher royalty rate. But it doesn't tell you until the end of next month. So that's why their reporting isn't very good. So I just have to take a rough estimate of what I made on Audible during October. It's just under $4,000. The last thing I want to talk about is Ingram Spark. This is another way that we sell books. And these are paperback and hardback books. Okay, so not audiobooks, not ebooks, just those two. You can sell ebooks through Ingram Spark, but I don't. So I like to use a function called KDP Select, which allows us to do some other promoting stuff, which I don't need to talk about right now. You can learn about that in the free course. But Ingram Spark is an additional platform that distributes books to retailers in paperback and hardback format. So this is something that if you're a self-publisher right now and you're not taking advantage of Ingram Spark, get on Ingram Spark, okay? Ingram Spark is an excellent way to get a couple more dollars, and by a couple more, I mean a couple $100 more every single month added on to your publishing income, okay? It doesn't earn a whole lot, okay? Like compared to KDP and Audible, Ingram Spark is definitely number 3, okay? Or number 4, whatever you have in between it. It doesn't make a whole lot of money, but it's also at the same time very, very, very passive, okay? I literally put the book on Ingram Spark. I don't have to pay for ads or anything like that. It's on there. All I gotta pay for is a new cover so it can be made into its paperback and hardback format through Ingram Spark. And I gotta buy an ISBN number, but from Canada, I get them for free, so it doesn't really matter for me. In the States, you gotta buy an ISBN number. But other than that, it's basically free to put that thing on Ingram Spark, and then it's just on there, it sells forever. It's completely passive. But earnings during October for me were roughly around $500 USD, okay? So again, not a whole lot, but when you consider how passive it is and how easy it is to just pop your book on Ingram Spark, that is one of the easiest $500 I will ever make, okay? It's not very hard to make that. It's just on there, it's sitting on there. So if you're not taking advantage of Ingram Spark, definitely get that into your portfolio, okay? And on Ingram Spark, I have roughly around 24 books on there. E-back and paperback, so I guess like 50 books, but in general, very easy to do. And if you only have like 20 to 30 books on Ingram Spark, you can make an extra $500 per month. So that is Ingram Spark. Anyways, let's move on into the costs, okay? So my costs for the month of October are all gonna be listed here, and I'll add them up, and then I'll show you the total profit at the end, because profit is number one, okay? I don't want to flex these numbers on you guys. I'm not trying to flex on you guys, but I don't want to put these numbers on you guys and not tell you how much I spent, because that would be it's not authentic at all. I want to be as 100% real as I possibly can with you guys. So I want to be telling you the costs associated with running this business, okay? Because there's costs with anything, and if someone tells you that they're making a bunch of money in revenue and they never tell you their costs, that should be a red flag. Like, you want to know how much they're spending, because profit is number one, not revenue. Okay, I just want to get that across to you guys. So I'm going to tell you my costs here for the month. I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys, so you know exactly what you can expect when it comes to self-publishing books on Amazon and Audible and all these platforms. Okay, so my number one cost consistently, usually every single month, is my Amazon ads, and I want to get this down lower. They could be optimized better, in my opinion. Okay, I work with someone who does my Amazon ads with me. Right now it's Q4, so they're a little bit more expensive. But anyways, I spent $5,500 on Amazon ads during the month of October. Okay, and I'd like to get that number down a couple thousand. But I mean, still brought me a lot of money in, so it's not a huge deal. It's just like I'd like to get it lower. Another thing, writing books. I didn't make a whole lot of books during October. I basically didn't do much for my publishing business. It was kind of just sitting there making me money the whole month. I was focused on other things, and in general, my writing costs were around $500 for the month. Narration, so getting a book narrated and put onto Audible. I didn't make any new audiobooks during October, so my narration costs were $0. My promotions were around $200, as you can see on the screen here. When I say promotions, that's kind of vague, I know. In terms of promotions, I'll usually pay bigger websites with like big lists that I can promote my book to in order to get it a solid launch at the beginning, which is talked more about in the course. I don't need to go into depth on what promotions are right now because they are kind of complicated. But basically, you can go onto blogs or people who have big websites, and you can pay them to promote your book to their big list that has an audience that is interested in your specific niche of your book. Okay, so in October, I spent around $200 on that. Other costs to take into account were like books, freelancers, Facebook ads. I do run some Facebook ads to grow my list every single month, roughly around $400 for the month. So in total, my costs were around $6,600 during the month of October, and this is in USD. Keep in mind. So when you take into account all of my earnings from KDP, Ingram Spark, Audible, ACX, audiobooks, ebooks, paperback books, hardback books, all that stuff during October, $8,237 USD is what I'm left with in profit. Okay, it's not revenue, that is pure profit. I told you all my costs, all the stuff that is associated with my publishing business, and keep in mind this is just my publishing business. I have other businesses and stuff, but in terms of publishing, $8,237 USD during October. Okay. And I'm really excited as we're moving into Q4 here. It is Q4 here, I guess I should say that. But moving into November and December, I'm hoping these numbers will get even bigger because Christmas is one of the biggest times of the year on Amazon for sales and stuff like that. So that's what we're hoping for. In Canadian, that's just over $10,000 profit during the month of October 2020. Hopefully that was as transparent as possible for you guys. I told you my costs, told you all the earnings and all that stuff for my publishing business, but here it is right in front of you. Okay, $8,237 USD, $10,919 from in Canadian. So I want to go over a few things that contributed to these numbers. I don't want to just tell you all these numbers and just leave you like that. Okay, I want to give you some value here. Okay, I don't like doing these kind of videos that much. I want to make sure that I can help you guys a little bit as much as I can with them. These are some of the main things that contributed to those earnings for October. Okay. First thing was not being afraid to invest in Amazon ads. You saw I spent over $5,000 on Amazon ads, but they brought in a lot of money for me. So you gotta weigh out your options there. Another thing was focusing on seasonal/holiday books. And in particular this month was obviously Halloween and Thanksgiving books. And the way that I do these is just like Halloween edition, Thanksgiving edition. And as you can imagine, moving into November and December, things will turn into like Christmas edition and stuff like that. But if you want to learn more about seasonal /holiday books, I made a YouTube video about it a couple weeks ago. I'll link it on the screen here or down below. You can check it out if you're interested in learning more about that. Another thing was leveraging a list of people to promote my books to, my list and my paid promotions, as I mentioned before. Fourth was quality. Okay, I always stress this, and if you're going through one of my programs or something like that, you can definitely hear me say it like over and over again. I drill it into you. Quality when it comes to your books is number one. Focusing on single books instead of pumping out a bunch high volume, okay? Focus on your single book, make that book, and then move on to the next, okay? Make sure it's high quality because bad quality books in the long run are just gonna get you bad reviews and they're just gonna die out and you're not gonna make very much money from that book. Quality is number one. And finally, I took advantage of high potential keywords by focusing multiple books around them, okay? So I focused on like one or two keywords during October, mainly the seasonal ones. And I made additions, I made new titles of them, I made them gender specific. So for boys, for girls, for parents, for teens, whatever. I made a bunch of additions centered around similar keywords which really maximizes your revenue and brings in as much as I possibly can in terms of royalties for my publishing business. And for the most part, ebooks and paperback books did well during this month. Audiobooks, very passive. There's no ads on Audible, so once you have a book on there, it's kind of like English Spark, just kind of sits on there and gets you a lot of money as long as you can do the right promotions at the beginning. So that's what contributed to my numbers during October. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight on some things you can apply to your publishing business. In terms of my portfolio, I'm sure you're probably wondering, right now I have around 30 books that I actually promote via KDP, Audible, Amazon ads, and other marketing channels. So I have over 40, probably close to 50 books, but mainly during October, I was promoting around 25 to 30 of them. My current split of books is 55% DIY books, which are around 7,000 to 15,000 words in length. And if you want to learn more about DIY books, course down below will tell you a lot more. It's free. I'm not trying to sell you a course or anything. Down below it'll explain how they work. I just don't want to go into detail about them right now because it's a little bit complicated. 40% long form books, so 25K to 30K words. Long form books are the more consistent money makers and they kind of last year round, whereas the DIY books, they spike during certain times, especially during holidays. So I have lots of them, and it's kind of an even split there. You see 55 to 40%. 5% low content books are my other area where I have books in, okay? Low content, basically just like activity books. They're like fill in the blanks, journals, stuff like that. I don't have very many, but I do have them in my portfolio, so I want to mention them there. Finally, I have 29 audiobooks on Audible, and they range from 3 to 10 hours plus in length, okay? Already kind of told you that, but want to make sure that's clear. Around 3 to 10 hours each. So as I've been mentioning the whole time, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing here, how you can do it for yourself, how you can start earning this kind of income. Again, I earned over, I think, $15,000 US in revenue this month. Managed to make around $8,200 profit. If you want to learn how you can do that, because it's not very difficult, I'm just a normal dude. I'm just running this publishing business. Been doing it for a year now, and I'm already at this point. If you want to replicate that kind of thing, I have a program that talks about all my strategies, everything that I put into my publishing business, so you can do it for yourself as well. And that'll be linked down below, be the first link down there, okay? I don't want to keep plugging this program. That's it for this video. Hopefully you got an idea for the potential that self-publishing books has right now. And again, it's very unheard of, very new business model. I don't want to say it's new, it's been around for a long time, but not many people know about it. It's not nearly as saturated as the other ones like FBA and dropshipping, all those kind of things. If you're looking to make money online, this is the business model that stuck out to me a year ago. Should be the business model that's sticking out to you right now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, drop a like, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Try to post new videos once or twice per week. But anyways, that's my income from October 2020. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some value out of it. Hopefully I get to see you in the free course. There's also a Facebook group and stuff like that, so I can talk to you in there. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you in next week's video.